Depression, depression, depression. Why do we have it and how do we get rid of it? The reason why this is just most cases, why there is depression, is there's the biological version of depression, which is kind of the scientific side of it. But really a majority of the depression that exists kind of in the Western world is actually not depression, it's an existentialist crisis. It's the crisis of you asking yourself who you are. That is the ultimate crisis. And society doesn't give you room or space or an opportunity to discover who you are at all. Society actually wants you to be a sheep and follow in a specific direction. Even your friends and family want this to happen to you, is following the path. Okay? But the path leads to depression ultimately. Okay, for most people. Unless you have the specific personality that fits with your society. So your society has certain expectations. So like in the United States, the expectation is that you enjoy materialism and success, and you have a specific title that tells you who you are, right? But for those who are a little bit more deep, I would say, they know that their title is not who they are. So the goal is to be searching for the nature of who you are, and that's going to naturally kick into your consciousness from your heart. While you're living life, your heart is always speaking to you. The issue is that it's not in language. It's in like a deeper language of like just sense and feeling. Your heart is bringing this into your mind's eye. And the depression is when you ignore it. So your mind, which is the language that the language that society uses. So they say you should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. And this is the language that is in your mind. It's the voice in your mind. And that's telling you to suppress, to push down all of your hopes and your dreams in your life. So that is why you're scared of following your dreams and listening to your heart, is because your mind is telling you no. Okay, but your mind is not you. Your mind is like the creation of society. Society has this little product or little new product but it's your mind. Right? It created it. Okay, you didn't create your mind. Society or like the outside world created it for you. You had no choice in the matter. The one choice you have is kind of disassociating, right? That means to disconnect from the mind and reconnect with your heart. So less of this and more of this. Okay. And this is the beginning of overcoming depression. Okay. So now that is why you probably have depression, is because you believe that you are your mind and that you're not your heart. So your essence is your heart. The energy that is going through you up and down, your body is speaking to you. And you're ignoring it. Your mind is ignoring it. Okay? How to overcome that is, the remedy is the problem. So like you just do the reverse of the problem. You end up in your heart. Okay? And so it's letting go completely. Allowing the moment and the heart and what was supposed to happen from the beginning, that is what you let go towards. You let it go, and your heart does that as it should, does as it wants, and you are just like kind of this avatar for your heart. So your heart is instilled in your body, and your body is just, it's kind of actionless action. Okay, actionless action. Action but not action. It's because it's your heart that's telling your body to do it, not your mind anymore. Your mind no longer tells you what to do. It is your heart. Okay. So ultimately, how to get over your depression is not what science says, is not what doctors say. Mostly, okay. This is in parentheses. If your depression comes from more emotional reasons, not scientific reasons. Okay. I don't know what percentage that is, but it's higher than what doctors say. Trust me, because this happened to me personally. I got diagnosed with depression and bipolar and anxiety. I didn't have it. It's because I was going through an existentialist crisis. Existentialism. Who am I? What is God? Why does life exist? What is existence? What is consciousness? These are the ideas that was ripping my my motivation to live life. It was ripping it apart. I no longer had motivation to go to high school, no more motivation to go to college. I wanted to get out of this situation. I wanted to move to Africa or something, do something way different, move to the mountains, get away from society. But I realized it wasn't society, it was me. Society is going to do what it's going to do. It is designed that way. But you are designed, ultimately, by God to follow your heart. Okay? Your heart is God's language, and your mind is people's language. Okay? People's language is the illusion. God's language is the truth. Okay? So the letting go to cure your depression forever, to cure it forever, is by going in, and you actually let the depression come in 100%. Right? Doctors are going to tell you to keep it away, keep the depression away, but no, we're doing the opposite. We're allowing the depression to come in and seep into our heart, okay? And ultimately, your depression is telling you, your depression is speaking to you. Your depression is the thing telling you to go in. Go in, go in. What is your heart saying? This is where the motivation to be so happy in life comes from. The intrinsic, the internal motivation, the eternal motivation, forever. Peace.